Hi, I'm Paul Kyogan from GK Tuition, and in this video I want to talk to you about probability. Now the question I've chosen to go through is 2016 Paper 2 Question 6. In this question we're told that in a local sports club a jackpot can be won, a jackpot of €1,000 can be won if contestants successfully pick the correct letter from the 26 letters in the alphabet and the correct number from the 10 numbers from 0 to 9. And we have to select one letter and two numbers. And the first question is, what is the probability that the jackpot on one particular week will be M33? So first of all, I have to work out what are the chances that the letter chosen is M. Assuming that it's completely random, there's 26 letters in the alphabet, so the chances that we chose M are 1 over 26. Then I have to work out what are the chances that we chose the number 3. Well, you should recognize that there's 10 digits from 0 to 9, so that means the chances you pick 3 are 1/10. And then what are the chances we pick 3 again? Because notice the question said it's fine to repeat the same number. So the chances of picking 3 again are 1/10, because the events are independent of each other. So basically, in order for M33 to be the jackpot, I want this to happen, and this to happen, and this to happen. So that means I'm going to multiply them all by each other. So the chances that the jackpot was M33 are 1 over 2,600. So that's my first answer. So that's the answer to part A. In the second part of this question, we're told that contestants have other options. So not only can they win €1,000 if they match the letter and the two numbers, but they can win €50 if they match the letter and the first number, €50 if they match the letter and the second number, and €50 if they match the letter only. So now we're told that the club is considering charging €2 per game. And how much will they make or lose based on the fact that they're offering these odds? So we've already worked out the first one. So the payout for the jackpot is €1,000. And in part A, I worked out that the probability of getting the jackpot is 1 over 2,600. So to work out my expected value, or my x multiplied by px, it's 1,000 multiplied by 1 over 2,600, which is 1,000 over 2,600. So that's the expected value of the jackpot. To work out the letter and the first number, well, the chances they get the first letter right is 1 over 26. The chances they get the next letter, the first number right, is 1 over 10. And then the chances they get the second number wrong is 9 over 10. So I think it's the 9 over 10 there that you might have forgotten about. So this is the chances of the right letter, the right number, and then the wrong number. 1 over 26 by 1 over 10 by 9 over 10, which works out as 9 over 2,600. Which means that offering these odds, the expected frequency in this case is 50 by 9 over 2,600, which is 9 over 52. The next column is more or less the exact same, except I'm getting the letter, the first number wrong, and the second number right. So I'm just rearranging. It's now 1 over 26 by 9 over 10 by 1 over 10. So I'm correct with the letter, wrong with the number, and then right with the number. So it works out as 9 over 2,600. That's the probability, which means my expected value, or my xpx, is 50 by 9 over 2,600, which is 9 over 52. Then the final one, they're also offering €50 if you only get the letter right. If you only get the letter right, you get €50. The chances of getting the letter right are 1 over 26. The chances of getting the first number wrong are 9 over 10. The chances of getting the second number wrong are 9 over 10. So if I multiply them, I get 81 over 2,600. So that's my probability in this case. Then the expected value of that is 50 by 81 over 2,600, which is 81 over 52. For the final column here, in the marking scheme, you actually didn't even have to work out your probability. So in the marking scheme, they just have a 0 there, and they haven't even filled that in. But I think for the purposes of this question, we might as well. So obviously you get no money if you fail to win. The chances of getting the wrong letter are 25 over 26. The wrong number, 9 over 10. The wrong number again is 9 over 10. If I multiply them all by each other, I get 81 over 104. 81 over 104 multiplied by 0 gives me 0. Now, it's important that you understand what these values, the column here on the right is the most important column. And it's very important that you understand what they represent. You'll notice that I've put other values outside it here, because I think it's easier to understand when we have it in decimals. There's a 1 in 2,600 chance of winning the jackpot here. Okay, so that means that if 2,600 people play the game, the chances are I will have to give one of those people €1,000. When I'm working out my expected frequency, I'm trying to build in the chances that this happens into how much I charge. So do you see 1,000 over 2,600 is roughly 38 cents. Now I've rounded it off, but it's roughly 38 cents. So that means in order to accommodate for that one person who's going to win €1,000, every time someone plays the game, it's going to cost me 38 cents. Every time someone plays the game, 38 cents of that goes towards this one person who's going to win €1,000. So 38 cents represents how much it costs me per play to offer these odds. Now I've done that for all the rest of them as well. It's going to cost me about 17 cents per play to offer these odds, because 9 out of every 2,600 people that play the game win €50. If I even that out among the 2,600 people, it's going to cost me 17 cents per person. So you'll notice that's what these figures represent. So you'll notice this one here is massive. In order to offer these odds, the letter €50 for the letter only, well, a load of people are going to win that. 81 out of every 2,600. So it's actually going to cost me €1.56 per person in order to offer those odds. So now we can't actually use these figures for the rest of the question because I've rounded them off a little bit. If we use these figures, we'll actually get the wrong answer. So I want to wipe them off. But I think it's just important that you understand what the expected value here represents. So in order to work out how much it's going to cost the club to offer these odds, I just want to add all of these together. So if I just add all of these, so I'll just put little pluses beside them. If I add all of these together, when you add up all your different fractions here, you get €2.29. So to the nearest cent, it's €2.29. So that means in order to offer these odds, on average, every single person who plays the game is going to win €2.29. On average. That's how much it costs me. Now, clearly the majority of people who play the game won't win anything. But if I even it out and I accommodate for the people who will win, then on average, every contestant wins €2.29. Now the question said that the club is considering charging €2. So if the club charges €2, but they lose €2.29 per game, then that means if they offer €2, that means they're going to lose 29 cents per game. So the answer to that one is they're going to lose 29 cents. So lose 29 cents per game. Okay, so with this answer now, the next part of the question becomes relatively straightforward. Okay, so now in part C, we're told that the club estimates that 845 people are going to play this game per week. And they want to make a profit of €600 a week. So we need to work out how much should they charge per game in order to make a profit of €600. Well, in the first part of the question, we worked out that it costs them €2.29 in order to offer the odds that they're offering. So on average, they're going to have to pay out €2.29 per game. And if there's going to be 845 people who play the game, that means that per week, on average, they're going to have to pay out €1,935.05. That's how much it's going to cost them in prizes per week. That's the average amount it'll cost per week in order to pay out the prizes. Now we're also told that they want to make a profit of €600. So not only do they need to make at least this much, but they also need to make another €600. So this is the amount they need to make in order to pay the prizes. This is the amount they need to make in profit. Which means if I just add 600 to that, it's just 2,535.05. So 845 people are going to play per week. And they need to take in €2,535.05. I need to work out to the nearest cent how much they should charge. So if they want to make this much money, and there's going to be this many people playing, if I just divide the amount of money I need to make by the number of people who are going to play the game, that'll tell me how much I should charge. And if we plug this into our calculator, we work out that the amount we should charge in order to make €600 profit is €3. So my final answer to that question is just €3. Again, I hope this video made sense. If there's anything you're unsure of, then let me know in class and I'll try and explain it differently.